what we do at this time is called a community moment. It's the time when we welcome someone from our Oasis community to give a brief talk, kind of idea they've been working with, maybe a topic they're passionate about, something they want to share with the community, a life experience they've had where they learned something. And this brief talk lasts for about 10 minutes or less. And we've had so many wonderful community moments today. The first time community moment, I'd like to, if you would start moving towards this podium, that would be helpful. And we have Lewis Melton is going to do one for the very first time, and he wants to share with us some surprising facts about evolution. So let's welcome Lewis, and I'm going to look around the clock.
Thank you very much. A lot of people here already know me. I didn't put a name tag on today. I don't normally proselytize. How does that proselytize? Anyway, somewhere. Proselytize. I never do get it right anyway. You know. Well, I don't think it's my job to change anybody's mind, however they think or whatever they do. That's their problem, not mine. But every once in a while, I get cornered by a intelligent design person that won't let me get away. And at that point, I feel I'm justified in torquing their head just a little bit when I get a chance. And there's a few things that they get a little upset over. One of the things that they don't like is the fact that when you were in utero, about that big or so, you had gills and a tail, okay? And you went through the process of getting rid of these things, just like we did in evolution, and moved on to something of a higher order. And believe it or not, we're all mammals. You know, those things that most, they say breasts are like toy trains, or designed for kids, but daddies like to play with them. But there's some unusual births around. There's a family in Mexico that's completely hairless, completely hairy all over their body. And that's because somewhere a gene got turned on that we were using back a couple of million years ago, and didn't get around to getting bypassed like it does with most of us. Actually, when you're in utero, you grow some hair too, but it's all gone by the time you're born. And if you do an x-ray of us, we've got a thing called a coccyx. That almost sounds, obscene, but it's that little tailbone that was originally the base for a tail. And it's got some muscles to it that probably could be used for something else if you were truly an intelligent engineer. But we didn't, and if you've ever broken yours, you'll know how much pain and problem they are. And there's other things like, I've had my appendix out. Doesn't seem to bother me at all, you know. They say that, it was designed to help with my immune system. Shoot, I'm 81 years old and my immune system seems to be working fine, and I haven't had an appendix for quite a while, so maybe, if you were an engineer was smart enough to walk and chew gum at the same time, that you'd figure out a reason not to have that device. We have pain things, that tells us, we're hurting, and it works pretty good and keep you from touching hot stoves and so forth like that. But we also have a thing called cancer that creates a lot of pain. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your point of view, you usually don't get this. There's exceptions, but you usually don't get this until you're past breeding age. And by the time it gets bad enough to create pain, it's usually too late to do anything about it. And if that's an intelligent design, or deliberately designed, it seems to be with the unintelligent design department, if anything. We all have you get scared, the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you get goosebumps. Well, originally that was designed to make the hair on you stand up, make you look bigger, so whoever was trying to turn you into lunch decided it wasn't worth the trouble. We still have the reaction. The goosebumps still occur, and the hair on the back of your neck stands up. But they're not much use to us anymore. Since, this is supposed to be designed by God, wouldn't create a useless body function. Goosebumps were originally useful. Adam and Eve had fur. for folks who have stockpiled food and weaponry in anticipation of a coming race war. An epiphany is a sudden realization of a great truth. I have 2 wisdom teeth. I won't ever get the other 2. And basically because my jaw wouldn't hold them. If you were intelligent design, why would you design more teeth than the mouth could hold? It's something that's always been a concern to me. I get lower back pain, and this condition affects a huge percentage of the population. I read somewhere that the working days that were lost for this is almost as any other reason. When we were supposedly created in our present bipedal form, other associated problems with our relatively recently acquired bipedalism. Other animals don't seem to have much trouble. Why? Well, extremely difficult in childbirth, varicose veins, arthritis, all of which indicate that we evolved, and quite recently too, from an animal that was predominantly quadrupedal. We have fairly decent eyes, but eagle eyes are sharper than ours. And one thing that I find amusing is there's a, if I can find the place right here, where well, we have a blind spot because there's a film over the receptors. This is not true in octopi and squid. They have a much better draped eye than we do. And we all have 5 fingers, and if we're an intelligent design, why are there 5 finger bones in the flippers of a whale? I mean, come on, folks. You know, this 5-digit thing is stuck around for a long time. I'm not going to try to catch all of this because it'd run too long. By the way, snakes and whales have pelvises. Now, if I don't have any legs, and I don't have a birth canal that goes through that system, what am I doing with a pelvis that's not connected to anything? And that's an intelligent design? Okay, all right, whatever. We look at chickens and they got all these feathers and so forth, except on the legs. And what's on the legs? Scales. Gee whiz. Dinosaurs had scales. Early flying reptiles had scales. There must be a connection there somewhere. If that's an intelligent design, please run that by again. I must have missed something. Oh, I got nipples. Yeah, really. Now, they don't produce any milk, but I have them. Are they really useful to me? I don't think so. But I'm supposed to be the product of an intelligent design? Yeah, right. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the Oasis. Hemoglobin. That's a great thing. It absorbs oxygen, provides my cells with oxygen. Then why is it that it will absorb carbon monoxide twice as fast and twice as efficiently when it's toxic to me and will kill me? And I'm an intelligent design, right? Okay. As you begin to get the message, I'm somewhat skeptical of this intelligent design program. There's also a bunch of genes that don't get turned on. There's a lot of junk DNA in my DNA sequence. When some of it gets turned on, strange things happen. And you quite often, if the wrong ones get turned on, you never get developed enough to be delivered. And so that ends that problem. But that was intelligently designed, right? Okay. In mammals, there's a recurrent laryngeal nerve. And it's, about 10, 12 inches on a human being. and it runs from the base of the brain down around a little thing here and then back up to the larynx. And on you and me, it's probably an extra 4 or 5 inches too long, maybe, to really be efficiently designed. On a giraffe, it's 6 feet 7 inches. Now that's intelligent design, right? Run it all the way down the neck, okay, where it branches off into a recurrent laryngeal nerve, which passes back up through the neck to the larynx. Thus, the nerve cells have a length of nearly 5 meters in the largest giraffes. Structure of the giraffe's brain resembles that of domestic cattle's. Oh, I've got a prostate gland. It's supposed to be a great thing. Except as you get older, it expands. Mine has. Because I'm 81. But if you leave it alone, it will get so big that it'll squeeze off the urethra, and you can't pee. Gee, but I'm intelligently designed, right? Okay. Color blindness. It's predominantly in males. The ability to see colors in humans came from our ape ancestors. It evolved because a good portion of their diet, and the same goes for our modern cousins, when fruits and berries are not in season, the leaves and stalks, etc., the nutritious of these are the younger new growth, which is red in a lot of cases instead of green. The ability to tell the difference would be plus. Color blindness, especially the difficulty of telling the difference between red and green, is on the rise in Houston. With our ability to raise our own food, it's thought that this ability is not so important, and we're losing it. That could be true. The reasonable evolutionary explanation is increasing incidence of color blindness. And can you think of a creationary one? Well, but I'm an intelligent design, right? Roger Scott had discovered that God is dog's best friend. Humans must have vitamin C in their diets. Without it, they will develop scurvy and eventually die from vitamin C deficiently. Apparently, we had a pseudogene for producing vitamin C. Dogs, on the other hand, had a real thing copy. Their copy of the gene actually works, and they do not need vitamin C in their diets. They make it themselves. Roger speculates this may show how much more God loves dogs than humans. But I'm intelligent design. God knew in advance that sailors on long sea voyages would suffer terribly, but did nothing about it. God made sure that dogs on these voyages would not suffer. Ship's mutts were looked after, but not the sailors. Do you begin to get the opinion that some of this design is of the less than intelligent design type? And they created sharks too, right? Some sharks have live birth. Some sharks have an egg, but the egg disappears and the shark develops inside. So they literally lay the eggs, develop the eggs, and then lay the eggs inside the animal, and then it bears live birth. And then some of them lay eggs and they hatch outside of the parent. If I had figured out how to do this, why would I design 2 different systems to do the same thing if I'd already designed one of them that worked very well? Maybe the other department wanted to try to outdo me or something. This design was spread out between 2 or 3 departments. How can that be? There's supposed to be one deity with this intelligent design. Oh well. Okay. I had more material here than I could do in 10 minutes, but that's the basic thing. When you next run across a person who tries to tell you that we are an intelligent design, let me know. I'll give you a copy of this. Some of them find it hard to deal with.